coming up on AgweekTV. We're in Redwood County, Minnesota, covering all things Minnesota Farmfest. We'll see where a hailstorm devastates crops in South Dakota. There are hundreds of soil types. We'll talk about why it's important to get your soil tested. And we'll see where they're playing golf on soybean turf. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. This week, we're coming to you from Minnesota Farmfest in Redwood County, Minnesota. This year at Minnesota Farmfest, there are hundreds of exhibitors, along with live demonstrations, panels on hot topics in agriculture, and much more. Joining me now is Barrett Nelson with the American Farm Bureau Federation. Barrett, you were just on a panel about surviving a down ag economy. What were some of the tips that you shared?
Looking at this, I think the tips for surviving, we got to get back down to the basics. We look at the financial environment and we're seeing input costs go up while we're seeing our prices for commodities go down. And when that gap widens, we start to think about things on the farm level when we're talking about finances. If we think about the tools that are available in the farm financial sector, we talk about crop insurance, we talk about our relationship with our lender, and we got to get back down to the basics. That most of our farms are family businesses. And so thinking about what we have to do on the family level starts first. That starts with leadership. That starts with courage to develop those relationships. We have to be thinking about our goal setting on a yearly basis. Maybe we set some for 3 to 5 years on the mid-level, and then further on, we talk about 5, maybe 10 years out.
You really stress the importance of having a marketing plan. Why is that so important to have on the farm?
Marketing plans allow you to see where you're at and where you need to be. They allow you to set goals. Marketing plans are evaluating your cost, evaluating your income. We talk a lot about yield times price. That's what our gross revenue is. And so when we set those goals, we can see what our break-even price looks like. And whether we're on the top side of that or on the bottom side of that, they help us make decisions to mitigate that and the risks associated with not reaching those goals. When we're looking at a year like this year, when we see corn dropping below $4 for the first time in several years, we're comparing a lot of this to the 2012 to 2014 timeframe. And we have to be aware of that. Marketing plans allow you to be aware of where you're at so you can make decisions as we go through the farm marketing year.
We are headed into harvest. Is there anything farmers and producers should keep in mind as they head into their acres?
I think we have to be thinking about next year. And as some of the answers from our panelists addressed, far too often it happens that we see some of the highest prices of the year show up in June. We have carry in the market right now. Our futures markets are telling us that June shows some market improvement. You can pick up 40 cents by marketing your crop now for June. So that shows that we are looking at the potential for our markets to be a little bit more firm and higher in June, which agrees with history. So we have to be paying attention and thinking about that as we go through the year. And that's in corn, soybeans, and wheat. That's where the opportunities are sitting, and that's what the markets are currently telling us.
It's really going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Barrett Nelson. Growers are seeing a significant drop in grain prices this year. That means producers may have to make some tough marketing decisions. With high supply and low demand, some corn and soybean growers may need to sell well below their expectations and below production costs. It may not pay to store grain until next year. Dana Allen-Tully, the president of Minnesota Grain Growers Association, says events like this farm show are a good opportunity for farmers to talk to lawmakers about policy and what they need in the Farm Bill.
Really talking about the challenges that growers are facing right now and the importance of getting a strong safety net in the Farm Bill done this year is a critical component for us going into 2025.
Some experts warn prices could go lower as many crops across the Corn Belt are shaping up to be excellent. Some growers in Illinois could see 300 bushel corn, so supplies are unlikely to go down soon. Crops in south-central South Dakota were shaping up to be some of the best we've seen in years. But as Ariana Schumacher reports in this week's AgWeek cover story, that is not the case anymore after being pummeled by a hailstorm.
Just a couple of weeks ago, this field near Whitten, South Dakota was filled with soybeans. But on July 29th, a devastating storm took out this field and several others in the area.
It was a very nice looking crop going into this. It was exceptional crop.
Mick Rowe has spent his whole life on his 5,000-acre crop farm. This is the first time in decades he has seen a storm of this magnitude in the area.
The last time I saw hail like this was in 1973 when I was in high school then.
This storm consisted of very high winds, rain, and marble and golf ball sized hail. The hail stretched across a 4 to 5 mile wide strip. Rowe has already harvested all of his winter and spring wheat, but around 80% of his fall crops were hit.
The storm that come through the other night was, it come through and it was pretty low to the ground, and when it first hit, it was mainly just wind, but then a lot of rain, a lot of hail. They're talking 83 mile, I think, hour winds. It seemed a lot more than that when it come through.
At first, I didn't think too much. I didn't think it was going to be too bad, and then all of a sudden it didn't take long and it was going.
While it is hard to see the crops gone, the couple continues to look to the future.
You go on. You just go on. You have to.
It hurts. It hurts at first, and then you get thinking, well, there wasn't much you can do about it. Okay, what do we do to heal the ground back up? Which we're talking some cover crops. Get these stalks off, because what's here will turn into disease if we don't. So we're in the mode of, okay, how do we recoup this and move on into 2025, I guess.
Near Witten, South Dakota, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Coming up on AgweekTV from Minnesota Farmfest, why understanding your soil type is critical for your farm.
Hamilton System Inc. in Drayton, North Dakota is the North American distributor of the Fantini corn and sunflower header. Both the L03 corn head and the G03 sunflower head have a simple, high-efficiency, low-maintenance PTO-driven gearbox, which eliminates slippage and power loss even in the most trying conditions. These heads are built with a solid one-piece frame and tubular steel construction that will withstand the harshest field conditions. Available in models from 4 to 18 rows, they adapt to any combine and come with a 4-year warranty on the transmission units.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Come out to Dakota Fest, August 20th through the 22nd in Mitchell, South Dakota. Connect with over 400 exhibitors specialized in row crop and livestock farming. Connect with other ag producers as you attend education sessions and live equipment and cattle shoot demonstrations. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors over food, music, and family fun events like the Kids Pedal Pull. Dakota Fest, growing connections in ag, August 20th through the 22nd. For information and discounted tickets, visit dakotafest.com.
AgWeek's Summer Corn and Soybean Crop Tour kicks off in July 2024 and runs through September. Join us as we bring you an inside look at the crop conditions across the region with AgweekTV, AgWeek Magazine, online at agweek.com, and on social media. Contact your AgWeek rep or email ads@agweek.com for value pack sponsorship opportunities today. And align your brand next to premier content on the AgWeek Corn and Soybean Crop Tour this summer.
Introducing the all-new Vatterstadt Tempo K24, designed and built in the U.S. It combines capacity with superior precision, even at very high speeds. With PowerShoot technology that uses positive air pressure to take full control of the seed from the meter all the way down to the soil, using no belts, motors, or brushes. Start your journey to outstanding emergence. Pre-order your Tempo K today.
HPAI has been a topic of concern for many farmers, as some dairy cattle are now contracting H5N1. It was a topic of discussion here at Farmfest. There are currently 8 dairy herds in the state of Minnesota that are still in active quarantine for H5N1. There was also a goat herd that was infected with HPAI earlier this year in the state. With migratory bird season on the horizon, farmers are urged to make certain precautions with their livestock.
Mitigation of waterfowl on site is the main thing. So cleaning up spilled grain, eliminating sources of water that these birds like to wade in and rest at, eliminating any kind of food source on the landscape that would attract these birds to come in.
Minnesota State Vet has also heard of some producers keeping waterfowl off their property by using lasers to chase the birds away from their livestock. Understanding your soil type is a vital tool to developing your farming and ranching practices.
When it comes to what you can and cannot do on your farm ground, NRCS soil scientist Kent Cooley says knowing the type of soil you have is key.
Those properties of the soils dictate how we're going to basically utilize those soils properly and try to teach folks that soils are different and they can change very dramatically over a short distance.
There are about 750 different types of soil in South Dakota. Soil type is dictated by the soil's properties. Cooley says the main property to focus on is the soil's texture.
You're basically looking at how much sand, silt, and clay is within that soil. And we also look at the amount of organic matter. That will play a huge role as to what we see in that soil profile when it comes to nutrient availability.
There are several different sources available to help producers determine their land's soil type. These include the Web Soil Survey and County Soil Survey publications. Getting regular soil tests can also help producers better understand their landscapes and how to best prepare their fields.
So every field is different. So the fertility on every field is different. So you can't take samples from one field and do that on the rest of the field.
Soil tests help producers determine the amount of fertilizer they should be applying each year.
We just got to be responsible for the nutrients we're putting on our land and just put on what we need.
Ward recommends testing soils every year for at least 3 to 4 years in a row. The Minnesota Pollution Control Agency is proposing changes to animal feedlot permits as part of the state's efforts to reduce nitrates. The MPCA held a series of hearings like this one in Chatfield and is taking public comments on the changes to feedlots with more than 1,000 animals. The proposed permits, farmers would have the option to apply manure in the spring or plant cover crops for manure applied in the fall. Glenn Skuda, director of the MPCA's Watershed Division, says public meetings are a good way to share information about the changes and get feedback from producers.
Our goal is really to address the elevated nitrate levels in our waters and try to get those nitrate levels trending in the other direction, trending down. We think these permits are good in that way, that they will add some requirements that will help in that regard without being overly burdensome to our farm economy as well.
Many of the affected feedlots are in southern Minnesota. Comments can be submitted until September 3rd on the MPCA public comment webpage. Ahead on AgweekTV, farmers get a lesson in improving their fields.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers 2 solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming, It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
Get in. So I'm going to put it out under it first, and then I'm just going to keep moving in. Keep doing small squirts. Quick squirt, and it's done.
AgWeek weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Are these cooler temperatures here to stay? Here's our AgriWeather outlook.
At the end of July and the start of August, we got into kind of a weird sort of setup with the jet stream, and it did produce kind of an unusual weather pattern for just a week or so. I'm going to show you that, but it's been in that sense kind of a weird summer overall with the jet stream position the way it is. Probably has something to do with the way this year's La Nina, or El Nino is transitioning back into La Nina. In general, I do expect the warm weather to be coming northward again. We're going to see some heat and some humidity up into the northern plains and upper Midwest, and we're going to see a little bit less rainfall, but we're not going to see it get as hot as it was in July over much of the far north especially, and I don't expect the rains to cut off completely. Now here's what we're talking about. Last week, we had this little strange northern branch of the jet stream that went way up north and then curved around a low before moving out in a more typical pattern. That brought a significant cool down into the northern plains. Now as we start this week, it is beginning to warm up a little bit, and that will continue. Warmer weather will build back into the Dakotas and Minnesota. We're going to see a lot of 70s and a few days maybe in the lower 80s this week, but we'll eventually see that warmer weather start building northward. And by midweek, we'll be back to fairly typical summertime temperatures, except the northeast will still be fairly cool. Here's that northern branch of the jet still lingering, and then here's the main primary southern branch. And so you can see we're going to see a fairly typical August weather pattern with patches of weather well into the 90s and a lot of 80s and not much else over the United States, except for maybe some coolie weather in the Pacific Northwest. As we get toward the weekend, some cool weather will have built down into the northern part of Canada, but we're going to see the heat pretty stagnant into the western part of the high plains and fairly warm on the eastern part, and a lot of this will be somewhat humid, and that's going to allow us for some scattered thunderstorms at times, so we're not going to see the rains completely cut off, but I think in general they'll be focused a little bit further south than they had been. So for this first week of the forecast, August 11th through 17th, scattered thunder showers from the northern plains through the western part of the Corn Belt. Southeastern states, a lot of this is tropical moisture and scattered sea breeze type thunderstorms. The west does look mostly dry. And then for the second week of the period, kind of the same areas. I do think the rains up north will maybe shift a little further north, and the best concentration of thunderstorm weather will actually be in Canada, though there will be scattered storms dropping down into the northern plains. Western part of the Corn Belt, I think, will settle down a little bit and get a little bit drier as we go through the mid to latter part of the month of August, and we'll continue to see some tropical action and some fairly wet weather over the southeastern states. Most of the west, next 2 weeks look quite dry.
Storage Pros and Mindac Containers are your premier suppliers of shipping containers, servicing all of North Dakota and Minnesota. From 10 to 53 feet, new and used units, we have your storage solution. Pick up your unit or have it delivered. Call Mike or Jake today.
AgWeek's Summer Corn and Soybean Crop Tour kicks off in July 2024 and runs through September. Join us as we bring you an inside look at the crop conditions across the region with AgweekTV, AgWeek Magazine, online at agweek.com, and on social media. Contact your AgWeek rep or email ads@agweek.com for value pack sponsorship opportunities today. And align your brand next to premier content on the AgWeek corn and soybean crop tour this summer.
Come out to Dakota Fest, August 20th through the 22nd in Mitchell, South Dakota. Connect with over 400 exhibitors specialized in row crop and livestock farming. Connect with other ag producers as you attend education sessions and live equipment and cattle shoot demonstrations. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors over food, music, and family fun events like the Kids Pedal Pull. Dakota Fest, growing connections in ag, August 20th through the 22nd. For information and discounted tickets, visit dakotafest.com.
Anytime you have a viral challenge, you are going to see a drop in dry matter intake. Anytime the immune system kicks in, it takes a colossal amount of energy. If they're not eating, they're going to deal with the problem. Our objective with IntegraVix is to maintain appetite, if not increase it. And therefore, we have to have something that really draws the animals to come to the bunk. IntegraVix will do that.
IntegraVix you can find at your local supplier, distributor, or you can call us directly at Van Beek Natural Science.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Storage Pros and MinDAC Containers are your premier suppliers of shipping containers, servicing all of North Dakota and Minnesota. From 10 to 53 feet, new and used units, we have your storage solution. Pick up your unit or have it delivered. Call Mike or Jake today.
Erickson Custom Operations hosted a field day recently where growers could come out and learn more about their products. I traveled to Drayton, North Dakota to see what farmers can expect. Severin, tell me a little bit about your farm.
Well, we're here at the northern end of the Red River Valley, just outside of Drayton, North Dakota. We farm sugar beets, wheat, and soybeans, and you're outside our farm right now looking at the sugar beet field.
For producers who haven't used AquaYield or Calcine before in their acres, how do they differ than other fertilizers on the market?
So everybody uses N, P, and K and all the micronutrients, but the ability to get any chemical or nutrient or herbicide into the plant faster, getting more chemical into the plant, using less chemical at the same time is what the nanotechnology is all about. And being able to get that in there through endocytosis actually makes it more effective, able to use less of it, and at the end you're getting a better benefit in both tons and in the crops and yield in sugar beets.
Speaking of sugar beets, we are standing in front of a beautiful sugar beet field here. What are some of the ECO products you've used on it?
Yeah, we've used almost every product they use in sugar beets in here. We put down starter fertilizer in furrow, and we use the Calcine product, which helps warm the soil. It helps the beets come up faster. It also flushes out all the salt in the soil. We use Nano CS, which is their starter fertilizer, to jumpstart the beets, get them out of the ground quicker, get them going faster. And this year we did a 2x2 with liquid nitrogen and the Purple Cow biologics, which helped keep the plant healthier, in better shape, and we had really good success with it. Now we're spraying herbicide, so we're using their Nano Pro, which helps the Roundup work faster, work better, gets a better kill in quicker time. We have to use less Roundup. And now we're into spraying Cercospora, so we're using the Nano K, which also helps the sugar content improve in the sugar beets.
You guys are having a field day here today. What are you hoping visitors take away from ECO products through visiting your farm?
Well, everybody's farm is different. Some people have heavy soil, some people have light soil, some people have a lot of moisture, some people have less moisture. Northern end, southern end of the country, everything is different on every farm. And so we have people here today from all aspects of the plant health, soil health, chemical side. Jim and Darcy at ECO have brought everybody here, so the people that come here have the ability to talk to everybody. Tom Vanderheiden from SC Biologicals is a plant and soil health expert. Warren Bell is the founder of AquaYield, and his son Clark is here with them. Landon Bunderson is the guy who's done all the patents for the AquaYield company. And Steve Strombos is from Purple Cow. He does the biologicals. And so anybody who comes here and has questions, they're able to ask Jim and Darcy, and the people they brought with them, they can get their question answered and get an answer that's going to help them on their own farm.
Well, it certainly sounds like we have a fun day ahead of us. Thank you so much for meeting with me, Severin.
Thanks, Em.
Severin Anderson.
Still ahead on AgweekTV, Minnesota soybeans are par for the course here at Minnesota Farmfest.
There you go, get in, So I'm going to put it out under it first, and then I'm just going to keep moving in. Keep doing small squirts. Quick squirt, and it's done.
Introducing the all-new Vaterstat Tempo K24, designed and built in the U.S. It combines capacity with superior precision, even at very high speeds. With PowerShoot technology that uses positive air pressure to take full control of the seed from the meter all the way down to the soil, using no belts, motors, or brushes. Start your journey to outstanding emergence. Pre-order your Tempo K today.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary wind systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Hamilton System Inc. in Drayton, North Dakota is the North American distributor of the Fantini corn and sunflower header. Both the L03 corn head and the G03 sunflower head have a simple, high-efficiency, low-maintenance PTO-driven gearbox, which eliminates slippage and power loss even in the most trying conditions. These heads are built with a solid one-piece frame and tubular steel construction that will withstand the harshest field conditions. Available in models from 4 to 18 rows, they adapt to any combine and come with a 4-year warranty on the transmission units.
Farmfest goers got the chance to play a game of golf here at the farm show, all thanks to some soybeans. Minnesota Soybean Research and Promotion Council hosted a mini golf event at their booth where their turf was made from soybeans.
They were able to develop, using the oil side of things, chemical to create the turf, the plastics that are created to make this. It's an eco-friendly bioproduct. It feels just like turf. It's going to be seen in a lot of different areas where the regular commercial turf would have been seen. The kids are loving it. It has a really nice soft feel to it.
The course included 5 holes and trivia stops along the way, where the golfers could lower their putting score if guessed correctly. We appreciate you watching us this week from Minnesota Farmfest in Redwood County, Minnesota. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.